Hear this breaking news. Amnesty International have urged the so-called Secretary of the State, Blinken, to center his visit on human rights on Nigeria trade. You get the point now, Because the level which human rights people are being abused in Nigeria is alarming, and that is why the Amnesty International, in conjunction with also the Biafrans and also Human Rights Writers Association of Nigeria, also they are calling this so-called Blinken, if they still have integrity in them to defend what they call human rights in Nigeria and also in Biafra land. Anyway, my wonderful people, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are. Happy New Day, happy Friday, and happy weekend. Let us go straight to the reason why we are here. We don't have time to waste. Please help me like, share, comment, and make sure you subscribe to my channel for more and more interesting videos coming your way. Ahead of the U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken's upcoming trip arrived in Nigeria, Kate Higston, Africa Advocacy Director at Amnesty International USA, made the following statement. Secretary Blinken's trip to Nigeria is a great opportunity for U.S. engagement with the new Tinubu's administration, but will only be successful if human rights are front and center on all their discussions. The Nigerian military has repeatedly harmed civilians with little accountability, particularly during airstrikes while fighting armed militias. Secretary Blinken must press for investigations and accountability for all civilian deaths caused by the military, the police, and the so-called Nigeria government as well. As we saw during the recent Christmas Eve attack in Plateau State, the Tinubu government is failing on its promise to protect civilians. Secretary Blinken must urge Bola Ahmed Tinubu Adekunle to do more than issue statements and actually ensure justice and accountability for civilians harmed by armed groups. The Nigerian government must do this without further harming civilians in its response to criminality. Isa Sanusi, Amnesty International's Nigeria's executive director, added, in Nigeria, it is imperative that Secretary Blinken raise the ongoing harassment of human rights defenders and journalists, such as Omoyele Sowore, who is facing floor charges solely for exercising his right to freedom of expression. As Amnesty Nigeria outlines in its human rights agenda opens in a new tab for the Tinubu's administration, it must honor the right to freedom of expression. Secretary Blinken must also press for the release of Mubarak Bala, Yahya Aminu Sharif, and Ismaila Sani Issa, currently in jail for blasphemy accusation charges related to blasphemy against Rhoda Jatu, must also be dropped unconditionally. What about the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? Nobody was included him there. Is him not a prisoner of conscience or what they call a political prisoner? Secretary Blinken must also press for the immediate release of the remaining NSAS protesters who continue to be detained years after their protest without due process or even a trial. If the Tinubu's administration is to remain committed to accountability, it must release these remaining protesters. In addition, Secretary Blinken must press for the full implementation of the findings of the investigation of the killings of peaceful NSAS protesters by the military and the police. All atrocities committed by the police before and after the disbandment of the Special Anti-Robbery Squad (SARS) must be investigated. Victims must also receive compensation and perpetrators must be brought to justice. This message is coming to you from the office of Okute Daily Talk, where we speak to you the undiluted truth. In another development, reps keep on planning summit to address plateau killings while people are keep on dying every day by day. And when you complain, they said you are inciting the public. But the same, the same reps have not done anything since the eve of December till today. They are still addressing, planning a summit. What nonsense country do we come from? Speaker of the House of Representatives, Tajuddin Abbas, is scheduled to meet with Bola Ahmed Tinubu to discuss ways to secure people's lives and property following the incident attacks on communities in the Plateau State. Okute News records that since late December of 2023, a series of attacks have occurred in several towns in Plateau State, resulting in numerous fatalities. There had been reports of attacks in Mango earlier in the week that claimed numerous lives, and the government of the day does nothing about it. If I may ask, Tajuddin Abbas, which president are you going to meet? The one that have zoomed up to France for a special visit, whatever they call it. The speaker demanded a redoubled effort in the state battle against criminality in a state released on Thursday by his special advisor on media and publicity, Musa Klishi. Speaker Abbas said he would meet with Bola Ahmed Tinubu on the matter, while the House will take a strong position upon its resumption from the Christmas and New Year break on Tuesday next week, the statement reads in part. The release further quoted Abbas as saying that when the lawmakers return on January 30, 2024, the House will kick-start plans to organize a security summit to find lasting solutions to the security challenges in the north and other parts of the country. I am deeply saddened by the continuous killings in Plateau State. It is quite unfortunate and disheartening that this is happening at this time when efforts are on to tackle insecurity around the country. I call on the people of Plateau State to live in peace with one another as they were known for years back. We cannot continue like this as a people. Our Creator, in His wisdom, according to them, brought us together for a reason, and we must continue to appreciate our differences and form a common front to tackle our collective challenges instead of killing ourselves. This path will only take us backward, not forward. If I may correct one impression here, he said our Creator merged us together. They never merged us together. People who merge us together are the UKs and their allies because of their selfish interest in the natural mineral resources that is coming from the land of Nigerians. That is why they have seen it and see that people who are supposed to control the resources have more wisdom. Then they decided to use what they call divide and rule and conquer the people. The speaker further urged the several security services to act swiftly to stabilize the situation on the Plateau State, according to what we have here. Anyway, my wonderful Biafran brothers and sisters, my Nigerian people, Amnesty International, Human Rights Writers Association, and the bros, other etc., who have joined hands to make sure that a call for all this remains a call for human rights, so that this coming of Blinken, whatever they call him, who have been an anti-Biafran, will do something concerning the human rights abuses we are having in this contraption called a country, because this is not a country but a contraption. They keep on giving us this belief that this is not a country but rather an animal kingdom. I can say it without without fear of arrest or whatever you may call it. But the issue still remains that Nigeria can never remain together. Nigeria is just a geographical error, according to Obafemi Awolowo. Anyway, my wonderful people, make on a like, share, comment, and make sure and keep subscribing to this channel, because more of this will be coming your way. My name is still remain Amanda Neze. I'll be right back.